DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is about faith and belief. Two different words that have two different meanings. We use them all the time. A lot of times we use them interchangeably. In this week's motivation, I want to talk about the difference between the two and how you can put both of them to good use for yourself and whatever endeavors you're involved in. Now, a belief is when you have an expectation of something happening because there is some proof of it, whether that's proof from your past, proof of something that's in your present, proof of some ability that you have. If I asked you, could you put on your shoes and tie your shoes into a double knot, you probably would say yeah, because you have belief you can do it, because there's an example of the last hundreds and thousands of times you've done it in your life. That's a belief. That means you have some reason to expect that this is going to happen. There's something around you that says, yes, not only in my mind am I expecting it, but here's all this proof that it's going to happen. That's what a belief is. Now, faith, on the other hand, is something completely different. Faith is also an expectation, but faith is an expectation that you have when there's no proof that is going to happen. There's nothing around you that guarantees it's going to happen, but you still have an expectation that it's going to go good. Is a positive expectation. It's like when people talk about a positive mindset instead of a negative mindset, or positive thinking is when you just have an expectation of something good happening, even though there's no proof that it's going to be good. It could just as well go bad as much as it could go good. Like if you're cheering for your favorite sports team and they're going in the game in the championship against another team that's really good, you have faith that your team's going to win. Even though there's no guarantee they're going to win. They could just as well lose just as easily as they can win. That's when you have faith. Or an even better example is if you're looking at something where there's never been any success. If you're looking at two sports teams in a championship, they both done a lot of winning. So there's a reason to think that they could both win. So you could also call that a belief. A faith is when there's no proof whatsoever that a certain thing is going to happen, but you still have a positive expectation. If I could talk about faith, if I talk about something from my own life, when I wanted to get into playing even college basketball, I could talk about every level. I wanted to play high school basketball, college basketball, pro basketball, all three of them. Before I was able to get into each one, there had been no proof before that I was good enough to even compete at that next level. When I finally made the team in high school, before I made the team, I didn't really have much proof in my life that said I was good enough to make the team. Actually, I had a lot of negative proof that said I wasn't good enough because I tried out for three years straight and didn't make it. And then when I was going to go into college, there was a lot of negative proof because I hadn't been recruited. No coaches had paid any attention to me. I'd averaged like 2 points a game in high school, and I had to walk on at a college. I had to go to tryouts and try out for the basketball team just like anybody else. There was no proof. There was no reason for me to believe that I can make that team until I walked in the gym and started proving it with my skills. I had the faith to walk in there and say I can do this, even though there was no proof. Now, once I started proving it before tryouts, then I started to have a belief because I saw, like, I'm better than 95% of the dudes in here without even trying. And when we talk about the pros, there's also a lot of negative belief. There was negative belief not in me, but there was negative proof, rather, is the better term to use, because I hadn't played my senior year of college. The years that I did play in college, my stats were not that impressive. I didn't stand out. I wasn't being looked at by any pro scouts. I went to a Division III school, which is a small, very low-level school. Even small by D3 standards, we were low-level. And there were no players who came out of my school who went into the pros and playing basketball. So there was a lot of negative proof that said this is not going to happen. But I had faith that it was going to happen. And once I started taking action based on my faith, then I was able to generate belief in myself first. Once I generated belief in myself and other people saw it, they saw the actions I was taking because of that belief, then other people started to believe. So it's kind of like an avalanche. It's kind of like a snowball going downhill. So the point of this that you can take from this is, even if there's nothing in your orbit, nothing is happening in your past, nothing happening in your present, that is proof that you can make something happen, that you can do something, that you can acquire something, that you can become somebody, that you can achieve some goal. You can practice faith. You can use the law of faith, and you can start to, when you have that faith, you're believing it even though there's no proof, you can start to take actions on your faith. And when you take actions on your faith and you start to make positive things happen, you'll start to develop a small amount of belief in yourself. There's a difference between faith and belief. If there's no proof, then it's faith. Now, once you start doing it, you have some proof, then it becomes belief. Once you start to generate that belief in yourself, the actions that you take because of that belief, you're going to start to accomplish more things. You're going to start to generate some actual proof, some tangible proof that other people can see. And when other people see tangible proof of you being able to do something, they start believing. They start believing in you. And when other people start believing in you, along with you believing in you, is a snowball effect. It just keeps going. It's momentum. And we talked about momentum in these videos before. You can look at one of my old weekly motivations where I talk about momentum. Once you get that momentum moving, it's the law of inertia. It's just going to keep going and going and going. So that's how you can use faith and belief. You got to start with faith. There's no proof. The faith becomes belief in yourself, and that belief in yourself will in turn transfer itself to belief in other people. So the more belief you have in yourself because of the actions you took based on the faith that you had in yourself, the more you'll be able to transfer that belief to other people. And the more people start to believe in you, the more power, the more energy you're going to have. You're just going to generate it, and it's going to generate off itself. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day. Work on your game.